not getting carried away from with Celtic beating a 10-man Aberdeen, albeit they played very well, and beating Livingston, who were rock bottom.
By the way, that must be about 30 minutes into this show, and I've not mentioned the Glasgow Rangers.
Well, you're in charge. Right.
Chris's player of the season, sorry. He must have been very tired. He was rested at Tannadice. We've not seen him since. Guys, welcome back. Merry Christmas. Seen some managers weighing their players. I'm absolutely delighted there was no scales at that front door, or I wouldn't have got in.
You'd have come in the back door.
Ooh. Anyway, good Christmas.
Yeah, just on the scales. I mean, that's this modern technology is something we never had scales. Back in the day. I mean,
Wait a minute, can I just say...
Pep is reinventing the wheel there, isn't he?
At Rangers, I've seen a couple of scales coming out and you try to duck and dive them.
And me running away. I was actually delighted when Bagheera came in Darsfield. Right, enough of us talking about weight. You were on a tour of America. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. Preparation has started. It's I think the biggest thing in the tournament will be travel. Some of the travelling's going to be quite big, but everybody's in the same boat, and yeah, it gives you the first steps to when the World Cup comes.
Where did you go? What did you do? Was it a bit of a jolly up, or was it? Did you
It
actually?
definitely wasn't a jolly up. It was obviously the draw happened, and you knew kind of the region you were in, but that region is huge no matter where you are. So
you do have aeroplanes.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4 hour flights. So
first class.
No.
So when you go to the World Cup, you're going to be in economy?
Well, we'll prep perfectly what we need to do for the World Cup, give ourselves the best chance. At the moment, we don't need to fly business or anything like that when we're doing a recce, trying to make sure we get the best base camp.
Do you think he'll be in business and the lads will be at the back, the old cattle class?
How do you travel?
Us?
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about us. He's first class. I'm premium economy.
Premium economy?
Yeah.
Extra leg room?
Yeah.
Let's get back onto football.
No. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Where did you go? What did you do?
There was quite a few areas, 12 states in the time, just at different base camps, because obviously that's going to be a massively important part of it. But I think with most games, you are going to need to fly into the games. It's not as if we've got 2 games in Boston. Ideally you want to be as close to Boston as you can, but size of area and facilities, you're probably going to be a bit further out.
In terms of facilities, what you're looking for, like good pitches, but hotels, how important is the players, the hotel, the base?
It's really important because you're spending a lot of time there. Also, the level where your players are at. Even when we were on the national team, you've got a Dan Fletcher who's at Man United travelling, and in some way, Scotland at that time wasn't at the same level.
Yeah.
We've got much more players playing at the highest level. So you're trying to mirror what you have done in every camp. So there's a bit of that. That is important. The training facilities is probably the biggest.
That sounds as if there's a few big time players in the Scotland squad.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
We
push for excellence. That's what we do in the national team.
Some of the players differently?
Not at all, no. But hey, it's been the most successful group for 30, 40 years, you know what I mean? So they're doing something right.
There's a divide there, though. The English, the ones with the first class up the front, the Scottish ones, are they going to the back? Is that what, are they got to get prepared for the back of the plane?
I feel as if I'm the Hearts manager again. You two ganging up on me again.
Anyway, talk about Hearts.
Yep.
Bad performance.
I thought so. It's probably one of the worst they've had all season.
Yeah.
For me, Hibs were good, though. Hibs were really good. 60 minutes. Mulligan, McGrath, for me, were the best players on the pitch. Controlled the game, took their chances. Hearts probably allowed Hibs to get set with the attacks, whereas before, I think you've seen Hearts, they're very quickly to move the ball forward and they create chances with Braga, Kyrgios and Shankland. Never really happened as much. Shanks had that first chance in the first half, the header.
It's unlucky.
No, it's a good chance. He's very unlucky, but I think that was their only real big moment, whereas Hibs took their chances. Their goals were good. But McGrath and Mulligan, massive for them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought obviously Hibs scored the good times as well. The games, the goal early settled them right down. But there was some excellent performances. I thought Bowie could, I know he's been in and around the Scotland squad, but he's got to be someone who will be on the verge of.
He'll definitely be in the mix. He's been in a few of the squads in the campaign.
Yeah.
But competition's good. I think he has, and he said that his interview after the game was excellent. He was talking about he'd had a dip in form.
Yeah.
But for me, he's somebody who's still immature as a main striker, still trying to find his way to be the main man at Hibs.
Has that been a sort of disappointment you watching him this season? That I think he was one when we did the first show of the season. We talked about, you know, his one we were all looking forward to watch. But he has had this inconsistency. So I mean, why is that? I mean, he's not a young kid anymore. Where, you know, at times he's flourished, but other times he's dropped off. So that's what yourself, Steve Clarke, they're looking for for him to really.
If you look at the level of the squad, the national team is probably the most competitive it's been for a while. Even like Ollie McBurney is doing brilliant in the Championship now. But I think to be the main man as a striker is tough. You have been the guys. It's tough, and he's not young, but he's immature in the amount of games he's played. He's played on the left quite a lot when he was at Northampton. So I think he's still finding his feet. You're always going to be judged on goals, and when you go a few games without scoring goals, people will look at that and go, yeah, but his performance, I think he's different with his performance. He's a very good target man, like holding off and being awkward for the defenders.
I mean, I don't know if you'll agree, but I think because of the modern day striker, and maybe like if it's been Boyle drift into areas, and then maybe Bowie's drifted into the other wide area, he's not really been that central striker. I'd like to see him actually saying, you know what, I'm going to stay the width of the 18-yard box. I'm going to play in there. That's where, because I mean, when you look at Hibs, they fire balls in from everywhere. I mean, the amount of chances you could get. I mean, I know he missed a couple of opportunities a few weeks ago, but he went back and he scored. I can't remember, was it Livingston maybe? I can't remember the game, but he had an excellent finish after that. But you're like, be that ruthless striker. Like,
but that's
sacrifice everybody else. Yeah, just go and score goals.
Totally.
Be the number 9. I want to score goals.
But the running about part, now I remember this when I was younger. He'll think he's doing a good job for the team, being a good teammate. But as you say, at times, just be that selfish guy, be around the box, because he is a good finisher, as you've seen yesterday.
Yeah, and you know, we're not party to how David Gray, you know, what the instruction which he gets across and how he's telling him to play. Not everybody can be a Kris Boyd and just stay in between the sticks.
Yeah, but I think the way the game is, you know, he's got to identify that Hibs from both wide areas are going to fire balls in the box. You've got Jamie McGrath from behind you. You've got Boyle's going to be that one that's buzzing around. You don't need to. I mean, you know, there might be an opportunity there. I'm not saying you can't stop running around. You have to. But I think he would score a lot more goals if he's in an area where he can affect it. Keep his energy rather than running about here, there and everywhere, chasing lost, because you're not going to get it. And I know it looks as if, oh, I'm being busy. Be the number 9, and I bet he scores more goals. Because as you say, you look at his finishing, it's very good. It's very good. It's composed.
And he's got
I don't really see him slashing at anything. He's
got the mindset of where he's tried another one for the halfway line yesterday. He scored the one in Europe early on where he just instinctively turns, sees the opportunity and takes it.
Yeah.
So he's got that craft as a forward. But I think it's just the learning. It's just the more he does it, the more he'll learn to do the right thing.
But enough praise of Hibs because they'll think I'll start liking them now. How bad were Hearts?
Yeah, but you say all that, right? And now everybody was saying, well, you know, will Hearts bottle it? But had the game gone on for another 5-10 minutes, you know, Hearts would have, you know, I think we all agree.
Yeah. But that's because they've got nothing to lose. And I think that'll be the bit that annoys the manager, is that if they start the game like that, they probably blow Hibs away. But they don't, and that's the frustration. Yeah. And the other thing I would say is, it's probably the first time this season that test, if you like, they've beat the Old Firm home and away both. Yeah. They've come back from Motherwell 3-0 down. I think this is the first time it's just no happened for them.
Yeah, I think when you listen to Derek speak after the game, he was talking about doing the basics, and that's one thing that Hearts have been very good at this year. Yeah. You know, they've stopped crosses coming in. Yeah. If they haven't won the first ball, they've definitely won the second ball. They've had players in and around the area that can affect the play. Whereas I thought yesterday as well, and I know it's small details, but it's small details at the top level that gets you punished. I think Steinwender, when he goes out there's one thing allowing Nicky Cadden to cross the ball, but allowing him to cut it back is another thing. So if he even goes in that couple of yards, it's just a hopeful ball in the box. But with Cadden's quality, when he gets it, he's able to then go and pick out Jamie McGrath in the box. It's like if he went another yard or that, he stops the ball coming in, and that's even before it's travelled that long in the air. He can actually get out to it a lot quicker as well. So, and I thought even it's the first time I've really looked at the Hearts defence and thought, nerves are creeping in here. Like Big Stuart Finlay, is it?
But do you know what I think that was? So the way Hibs set up with the 2 strikers and the 5, the fullbacks, Kingsley and Steinwender, were having to jump a long way. The space between them and the centre half, I thought, was where the centre halves were getting drawn all over the place, which caused them problems.
Yeah. And then obviously that first goal as well, Steinwender, because he's naturally a centre back, he's too narrow rather than being, focusing on it. But listen, I thought Hibs overall deserved to win the game of football. But they were by far the better team for a large chunk of it. There was Hearts, as we've praised them this year as well. They'll keep going right to the end. They've scored late goals. They're very unlucky. It was a good save in the end up from Shanks. Really good save. Yeah. Really good save. But listen, for Hibs, I just feel as if they should be doing a lot better. I really do.
What's a lot better then? You think so you're saying that they should be doing a lot better. So you're saying they should be challenging.
I think they should be close.
They're 2 points off Motherwell, 4 off Rangers.
Yeah,
and with lavish praise on Motherwell all season. I think finished 3rd last season, but their biggest problem is Hearts.
Yeah, that's where
biggest problem, and they haven't stepped up when they played Celtic, when they played Rangers. Maybe yesterday's a turning point. I don't think it's been all that bad. I think there's a lot of negativity sort of flying around about Hibs. I think they've been okay. I think they've been more than okay.
Yeah, I look at Hibs and I just feel as if in the big games up until yesterday, they've failed to turn up. I mean, we've spoken about how bad Rangers...
Did they fail to turn up against Celtic, though? When Celtic beat them 2-1?
They got beat.
I don't think Celtic... After...
but they get beat against a Celtic team that's struggling.
They gifted the Hibs goalkeeper as well. Strange goalie, isn't he? Makes some big saves, but he lets in some absolute shockers. But again, Celtic, they deserved to get something from the game. So you're saying they didn't turn up. Well, they did turn up. Narrowly beaten by Rangers on a couple of occasions. And I do get your point. But they turned up. But they did turn up in the big game against Hearts. And yet you're sort of reluctant to praise them.
When Tynecastle lost that game, it was last minute, yeah. Rangers 3 times. We've spoken about how bad Rangers have been. They've lost to Rangers, not you scored a goal.
But
everybody else has scored against Rangers.
If you look at the league this season, right? So Rangers and Celtic, you'd have expected to be challenging. Hearts and how they've performed go into that bracket. Surely the realistic aim for Hibs is 4th.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I just feel as if I feel as if there's games because of Rangers Celtic came down. I feel as if Hibs should have been closer to them. That's when I look at Hibs right now, and I think they're a good team.
I think they've progressed from last season.
The team,
as a squad,
the way they were last year, 100%. Jamie McGrath's an excellent signing. I mean, I really, really, really like him. And I think, I just feel as if with the players that Hibs have got, they should be able to, or they should have won a lot more points than or they should have had a lot more points than what they've got, which would have then put them in next to above Rangers, above Motherwell. The gap from Hearts to Hibs wouldn't be the 13 points. I mean, we're sitting here, they won the game yesterday, fine, fair enough. It'd been 19 points. 19 points had Hearts have won that game. That is huge.
But the transformation
but it didn't happen. So, so what I'm saying is, Hibs have shown that they have got a level there where they can, they can beat teams in and out, but they've failed to. That's the first time they've beat a team that's above them all season.
Yeah, but you should be looking at that positively. You're still taking a negative, and we should be looking at that positively.
Hibs are amazing. They're going
to. They've made it up. So had they lost, then you might have a point, but they haven't. They've won, and that's.
Okay. I do think the next month for them is important. I would say that.
Yeah.
That if they don't push on and build that momentum, then, like you say, they will just drop into that mid-table.
Yeah.
Which will
finish. What a start we had at Livingston. Wow. 7.5 minutes, 2 each.
I remember an Argo game, there was 4 goals that early. Kilmarnock away, last day of the season for Rangers. We won the title.
Yeah.
7 minutes, 3-0 up.
3-0.
Can't remember that. Yeah. Wilfball is, just incredible. I mean, what do we make of the whole thing? Celtic defensively, when teams attack them, it looks like every attack looks like Celtic are going to concede. A lot of noise surrounding Sinisalo yesterday because of Kasper Schmeichel's poor form this season. I don't think he covered himself in glory. But I still think the same old issues are at Celtic. I don't think that. I think there are players who are starting and who have started regularly under Wilfred Nancy who shouldn't be starting, who aren't good enough to start. Hence why I think January, it's said many times, and I've been consistent with this, why January is a big month. Anthony Ralston really struggling in that sort of right side of the defence. Johnny Kenny, I don't think he'd get a starting berth in virtually any team in the top flight. I just don't think he's good enough. I think that to come in and implement a style, which he has done, and he's entitled to do that, but I still think that Celtic are a work in progress in the middle of the season, and I think that that's a problem. And in my mind, sort of with every week which passes, I can see Celtic absolutely smashing some teams, and on the flip side of that, I can see Celtic losing a fair few games under Wilfred Nancy as well, unless things change in January. And so, seeing Wilfred Nancy talking the week, he's sort of saying, "Well, I'm observing the squad, I'm looking, and we'll see what happens in January." I would like to sort of hear him be more forthcoming and say, "This is what." So,
are you saying that meaning they need to get players in the building, or is there anybody in the building that you think should have more game time that isn't getting game time?
I can't. I mean, you can throw some names at me. I can't think of too many, and I think it's a problem. So you're asking players to play roles, which I think that there's a fair few players in the Celtic starting 11 who aren't good enough to play those particular roles, and Ralston would be one. And Yang, for all which he gives the team going forward, I think sort of defensively, I'm not so sure he has that sort of defensive instinct. And there are players finding the way. And
the Yang one's interesting though, because like even yesterday, when you look at the goals that Celtic lost, the first one, Kieran Tierney with the straight pass, I think it's cut out, the square pass. Sorry, Yang is in the area they would expect to be though. But he's
too far in.
But that's I think the second one when the ball gets clipped to the back post, he tries to go close, and rather than playing as a right back as such. But I don't really blame him for that. The managers want to play in a style of play. He's wanting to bring this style. He's wanting to be attacking. He's wanting to be aggressive. I didn't really see anything wrong with Yang for the first one. The second one, he just thought, I'm in a defensive area. He's tucked right in there. He's made the mistake there. But I think, Kris, you're 100% right. Celtic could easily go and score 4 or 5 goals every single game, but they could also concede 2 or 3 goals every game.
The example at Dundee United away, they could have been out of sight in the first half. Out of sight, 3-4 goals. Don't take them, and then obviously the game plays out.
The thing is, though, Chris's player of the season, he must have been very tired. Scales he was rested at Tannadice. We've not seen him since.
Yeah, well, I think it's fascinating how Wilfred Nancy sees it, and and I'll be proven right on this again. You can't tell me that every time a team gets a long throw or a corner or a free kick against Celtic that you don't fancy them to score. I mean, and he is. It'll come back and it'll bite Celtic in the backside. It will. Their lack of physicality from set plays. It's a problem. Austin Trusty, good in 1v1 situation, backs himself because he's quick, and he does do. But we've seen it. We saw him last year get beaten up. And it's a problem. And when you've got goalkeepers who don't want to come off the line and catch the ball, I think there's a massive problem. So as I said, I'm repeating myself now. I can see, and you can see what Wilfred Nancy's trying to do.
Can you
in that final third? And I've got to say, some of the football in patches has been really exciting.
Yeah.
But
how much progress from when he came in to now have you seen?
I think it's difficult to say, and I think there has been progress in some of the patterns which you see, especially down that left-hand side. I've got to say, Maeda, I don't know whether he's playing for a move away in January. Celtic can't sell him as well.
They can.
They can. But they can't. But they just absolutely can't. I'll probably be proven wrong on that. But he looks back to his sort of physical best. He looks sharp. And other players, I mean, Nygren has sort of shown flashes, but I'm not getting carried away from with Celtic beating a 10-man Aberdeen, albeit they played very well, and beating Livingston, who were rock bottom. The difficulty, I think, is because he had such a tough start in terms of Hearts and then Roma and then St Mirren was was poor. I think it's it's difficult. It's a work in progress. My gut feeling's telling me that Celtic will savage some teams. But then on the flip side of that, I think they're going to. I think
similarities to an Ange.
13 goals in 6 games. Celtic's best 3 players have to be the 3 centre halves. I said it when Ange was in charge. His best 2 players needed to be Starfelt and Cameron.
Do you not think this is higher risk though under Naisy than Ange?
They go the game against Motherwell midweek. They go there. That will be an interesting one because Motherwell are playing some lovely football,
and they want you to press them to play through you. So that will be.
What do you expect there, Motherwell?
7-6. I don't know. I don't know. I find it exciting, exhilarating watching Celtic. I mean, they're just a strange team. But he's come in, he's changed the way of playing. I think it's difficult. Had he had a whole pre-season, then I think things would have been easier, and we'd see a more solid structure. But the thing which worries me, I mean, does Wilfred Nancy not realise that set plays are going to be a huge problem?
Yeah, I know.
For Celtic, but he's similar mindset, Ange. He just wants to dominate, absolutely dominate, and
he'll feel that will bring him more success than anything else. But that's the top end of the table. Bottom end, Dundee, Kilmarnock. Are all teams in it?
It's a big game. It's not been a great couple of 2-3 months for Kilmarnock. And actually, looking at the league, I do think that they're going to be Livingston, Kilmarnock, and Dundee are definitely going to be the 3 that fight it out. I think
Dundee are a strange team though. They can. Well, it's been the story of the season. They'll go and lose 3-4 games, win a game, lose 3 or 4, win a game, lose, draw a couple, then win again. Like, I mean, Dundee will fancy their chances of beating Kilmarnock as well at home. But Kilmarnock, they need to find a win from somewhere. I know, Stuart Kettlewell lost his job. It was a poor run. I think it was 2 points out of 30, something like that. Chris Dillon's come in, changed a few, changed the formation. Lost the first game against Falkirk. Done okay in Paisley, done okay. And it's a good point. I mean, I think if you'd said to a lot of teams going to St Mirren the way they have been, coming away with a point, you would take it. But you feel as if it's getting to the stage where Kilmarnock and Livingston, they need to find a win from somewhere. They play each other in a couple of weeks as well, but they need to find a win, Kilmarnock. And I'd be honest with you, I don't know where it's going to come from.
No, I've said most of the season, I don't think they've got enough goal for it. They've got Bruce Anderson who will go through wee patches of scoring goals and getting chances. But their other main threats, David Watson arriving in the box or getting shots from outside the box, they need, if you look at every other team around about them, they've got more goals in their team. And it's the first time I've looked and think of Kilmarnock squads over the years. Yeah. First under Steve Clarke, you had a core group of players from Burke, Kirk Broadfoot, Dicker, Power that ran, and then you go into the more recent one and you had Matty Kennedy, Vassell, Armstrong, Murray at the end, and then you look now, they've got none of that personality. They've got none of that personality, and that's a big issue.
The thing, a wee birdie told me in the summer that somebody was linked with the job in the summer. I'm not sure. He's maybe comfortable in this Scotland role now. Yeah, you getting it? Tell us.
Would you not want to go back and save Kilmarnock?
He's wanted to tour America for the club. He's wanted to tour America first class.
My full focus is in the World Cup, as I've told you earlier on. I was away doing some camp research and that. It's not nice to see Kilmarnock in this state.
Camp research.
Yep, the research and that starts now. So no, I'm settled.
Would you feel? I mean, if Kilmarnock went down, would you feel a pang of guilt though?
I'm not going in and helping.
Jeez, so it's a bit strong. Wouldn't like it to happen. I don't think it will happen. And it's not nice. It's a club that obviously gave me my chance and stay in the local area. It's not nice at all. And I'm sure whoever takes the job will do their best to get out of it.
In the US and Kilmarnock will be relegated.
No caring.
You two will be slaughtering everybody at the club and everything about the club, and they deserve to go down. That's what you would do.
Never slaughter Kelly. Never slaughter Kelly. By the way, that must be about 30 minutes into this show. And we've not mentioned the Glasgow Rangers. Another tough game for them.
Well, you're in charge. That's your
another. Yeah. I mean, it's a victory. It's a victory against Motherwell, and I mean, it's a great 3 points. Didn't really play that well, but you'd imagine it's going to be more of the same against St Mirren as well during the week.
I think he's just been pragmatic. He's doing what he needs. I think we actually said it in a show before. Just win games, just get points to January, and then you can start doing what you want to do, because it's not a pretty watch. It's no great. And even in the game against Motherwell, their best chances come for counter-attacks at home to Motherwell. Now, Motherwell are a really good team, but that's not the expectation. But they get the win. Don't carry a great threat going forward. I think that's a big issue. But
is he quite cautious with his approach? And I don't think that's and it's not me criticising him, because I'm in Naisy here. Yeah, exactly that, because it is about being pragmatic. You forget how poor Rangers were under Russell Martin. You know, I'm desperately poor. And then he takes over, same group of players, and has to get a tune out.
I think it's the flip. It's the opposite from Celtic. Celtic's, apart from their number 9 as such, Celtic's best players at the top end of the pitch. I think Rangers right now, you've got their forward line is misfiring. There is no getting away from it. I think when you look at Chermiti, Danilo and Miovski, you know, they're totally misfiring. Don't even look like scoring. I know Miovski had a couple against Kilmarnock. Then he missed a few. Chermiti scored against Hearts, but you know, I don't think Danny Rowe will be looking at it. You know,
they're not a constant threat.
Yeah, but I think in years going by, you'd be like, he's going to score my goal today. I think Danny Rowe will be thinking we need to play for set plays, and that's what Rangers are doing right now.
Exactly.
They're more that when you look at the back three, 2 wing backs, even the midfield 3 right now, I don't see Diamonde, Raskin, and Connor Barron as being an attacking threat. They're more cautious, sitting off, trying to hit in the counter attack. Listen, he's getting results. As I said, it's not pretty. If Rangers score first, you do think they're going to win the game. The opposite of that, if they concede first late at Tynecastle, I didn't think they were going to get back into it. But if that goal had have stood, the one that was, it was offside, but if that had have stood, you'd have felt as if Rangers would have won and won that game. And that's the thin lines. But as I said, I think they're the opposite from from Celtic, because the front players are misfiring. Danny Rowe has been more
Celtic's front players have misfired this season. I mean, you know, Celtic's strength hasn't been at the top end of the pitch. Well, I really don't.
I think it's been in 2 or 3 individuals and their quality for Celtic. It's been a big difference.
I think when you look at Celtic, Negrin scored goals. Maeda has.
He's only just sort of, Martin wasn't playing Negrin. People forget that.
No, I know, but I think when you look at what he brings, I mean, what is it? 10 goals now in the league.
11.
Is it 11?
11.
I thought it was 10.
I think 1 for Sweden. If we count.
It doesn't mean, as I said, he's in double figures for the league, I think, or 10 goals this season for
Celtic. The first 6 weeks of the season, he was probably the best player in the league.
He is a threat.
He did have a dip.
I still think the jury's out. I think, you know, let's wait and see. Right. I'm not saying he's been a bit of a flat track bully. You know, I thought the way he linked up that understanding with Maeda, you know, was really encouraging. He's got a good football brain. He can't run.
See, it's not the matter with that. Right, we've had enough of this. I've had enough. That's me. I'm finished. I'm done for the day. That's me. Done for the day.
He's burnt out after Christmas dinner.
That's me. I need to go home. I need another dinner. Remember to like and subscribe and never miss an episode of The Warm Up.